Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to Cliff Notes Live. A good Monday night to all of y'all. First week of June down here in Texas, and it sure as heck feels like it. Hot outside. I've been rushing around trying to get back home. Busy day at work. Busy, typical Monday. Trying to get home so I can do this show. So I'm glad I made it. I'm glad y'all are all out there to chat with me this evening. Nothing huge planned. We'll talk a little reality TV and then whatever else comes up. Gators, eggs, a little bit of everything. But I hope y'all are doing well. Let me start off with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV, love reality TV fans, especially love you guys as well. Those of you watching live, those of you who are watching on replay as well. I just enjoy hanging out with y'all on Monday night and just kind of like Seinfeld, just talking kind of about nothing and enjoying every bit of it. So I hope y'all are doing fantastic. As I always start the show off and finish the show as well. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, giving one of those big old thumbs up as well. And that way, if I drop extra episodes as we're getting into Big Brother season, if I drop extra episodes, you'll get notification before anyone else. Well, at least anyone else except other people who are notified. But anyway, now guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Let's see. Before we go any further, let me just see who's out there, and then we'll follow up with all kinds of fun stuff this evening. Brian Hostetler. Hey, Brian. Brian's flying back home. He'll have to watch a replay. Brian, glad we got replay. I hope you're doing fantastic. I want to hear where you're flying back home from. Excuse me. Maryland Southern. Maryland, how are you doing? Happy Monday to you as well. Jake, the horror movie geek. Welcome to you, Jake. Desiree Watts, how are you doing, Desiree? Terry Thomas, Amanda Lowe, Ryan 51. Ma, next week, you still good for coming on the show next week, Ma, to celebrate your birthday? If there's a better day that works for you, let me know. Otherwise, you're on, my friend. So we'll talk about that. Tammy Flanagan as well. Tammy, how are you? Ed Brewer, Michelle Moore, Anoe, let's see. Noah Lemon. Noah, how are you doing? YTCJ Star 1015. See how that just rolls off my mouth after a while? Bev 77. Bev, how are you? JP, how are you, sir? And Mark Taylor and Abby Love 12. And I think that's about what we got this evening. Hope y'all are all doing fantastic. Now, for those of you who, as I said, is in a hurry to get home, try to get stuff going, traffic in Houston is just horrific. We've had storms for the last 2 weeks. Last Tuesday, we had hail that maybe not quite as big as the hard-boiled eggs behind me. So they're hard-boiled eggs, maybe not, but maybe not quite that big. But we had hail that was probably marble-sized, hitting all over the house. Worried it was going to take down trees, take down a roof, take down our cars. Doesn't look like any of that happened, but it certainly has been some crazy spring storms for a couple of weeks. Well, now it's just dang hot. So anyway. Where was I even going with that? I don't know, but here's the deal. Today is National Welcome to and let's celebrate National Egg Day. Yeah, I'm just full of trivia today. National Egg Day. Probably because it's so hot you could fry an egg on the sidewalk down here. I've seen people do it before. It's pretty easy to do here in this state. But celebrating National Egg Day. Go eat some hard-boiled eggs or something. I used to absolutely love eggs. One of the toughest things when I was inside the Big Brother house, I've told y'all before, I think I've told y'all that we got stocked up every Thursday night. After the HOH was held, typically after you would go up and say, oh, it's the HOH room, yay! Go up and celebrate, see whoever's room it was, and pray that you weren't going home the next day or getting nominated the next day. But after all that happened, once everyone was in bed, typically the storage room, the door would lock, so we couldn't enter the storage room for a few hours. And while it was locked, you could hear all kinds of little mice scurrying in the storage room. Some of you may not realize there's an extra door in the storage room on the back side, on the opposite side from where the door is that we walk in the Big Brother house. There's another door on the other side. It's always locked, but there's a big red button next to it, and it's an emergency escape. I guess if the house got caught on fire, if someone started banging pots and pans a little too close to your temples and you felt the need to leave, then you can push a big red button and walk out the door. Emergency system. Now, we were told if you ever push that button and it's not an emergency, It's a one-way exit. Yeah, you ain't coming back in. But nevertheless, that door would lock, so we couldn't come in. We would hear all kinds of little scurrying inside the storage room. And then lo and behold, a few hours later, the door would unlock. We would go in and just see massive amounts of proteins and vegetables and new milk and candies. And it's just like the Easter bunny coming once a week while we were inside the Big Brother house. Now, in my house, it was typically Jackson Mickey that was the first one in there doing a complete inventory of every protein, meat, tuna, whatever was in there. He was pretty eager to see what was being given to us for the next week. But yeah, it was always a big celebration to see when we got new supplies because for the most part, you couldn't request extra supplies. Sometimes if we ran out of milk, they'd give us a little extra because that just took up a lot of space in the fridge. But the one that always got me was eggs. They would give us, I would say like maybe 2 dozen eggs, maybe 3 dozen eggs to start the week. But with 16 people, that's not a lot of eggs. That's a couple of eggs a week per person. And I like my eggs. I could eat eggs morning, noon, and night. Fried eggs, poached eggs, scrambled eggs, deviled eggs. Now, when Sis was the chicken in the house, we had a lot of eggs. And I always stayed up, whether it was Jackson or Tommy with his running around. I'm making smells of the speed of sound or whatever, the speed of smell. Whoever was getting a punishment, I would stay up to support them just because I felt like they needed the support and help protect my game a little bit. I know when Sis was a chicken and she had to fix all these different eggs and she had no clue how to fix deviled eggs. There's a lot of eggs that she didn't really know how to cook. So I would help her cook a lot of the eggs. So we ate well that week, but the rest of the time, very few eggs. I remember when Jessica won her HOH a couple of weeks after mine. She put up Jack and Mickey, and I was so happy. It's such a great moment. And we were going to celebrate by fixing some eggs to just go celebrate because Jessica liked eggs. I liked eggs. Nah, all the eggs got eaten. Don't know by who. I got my suspicions, but I don't know by who. But we had to wait till the following week before we got replenished again after that. That was, maybe it's after she won HOH. So they hadn't replenished the stock room just yet. Maybe that's what it was. But I had to really be careful about how many eggs I ate in there because you don't want to get anyone mad by eating all the food and then they're pointing their fingers at you. And in our house, Jackson Mickey, he had he liked to cook with the egg whites. They would just give him whole containers of these things and he would just pour them into skillets and cook just massive amounts of egg whites and cauliflower all mixed up. And I guess that was his high protein type meal. But yeah, I missed eggs while I was in the house. I had to be a little bit careful with them. But hey, so welcome to National Egg Day. All right, JP is saying egg fried. What? Oh, Egghead on Batman, played by Vincent Price. Oh, you're bringing up the memories, JP. Yeah, I remember. I remember the Egghead. You had the big ones, the Joker, the Catwoman, the Penguin, the Riddler, and then you had those minor ones. You had Egghead, you had who Mr. Freeze, who else? There's a few of Mr. Sleepy or something. There are a few there. Yeah, I remember Mr. Egghead. Looked a little bit like old who's the I wrote $1 billion. Y'all know who I'm talking, right? Austin Powers, the mean guy in Austin Powers. Anyway, yeah, lots of eggheads. All right, let's see. Desario Watts is saying, "Are you ever going to have anyone from your season cast members on your live podcast?" I think that is an absolutely fantastic, Desario, and I think I'd like to. I think that would be a lot of fun. I thought about it and I talked to Nicole a little bit while I was up at her wedding. She was busy with wedding stuff, so it's not like I wanted to spend a lot of time, but I'd love to get Nicole and her new husband Brian on here one time. I'd love to get Ovi on here. Tommy probably can't do it because although Broadway shows, I think they go dark on Monday night, so maybe. Kat Dunn, I'd love to get. Of course, she's always off gallivanting all over the world. Yeah, there's a few. Nick, Sam, maybe Christy. It would be fun. I would love to. I had so much fun when I went to that wedding and got a chance just to reminisce and see some of the folks I hadn't seen in a while. We're in that house. You feel such a tight bond, and I'll have a bond with them forever and ever, just because of the shared experience. But on the other hand, I got a few years on them. They're at different stages in their lives. They're in different parts of the world. I don't necessarily hop on airplanes and fly all over to hang out with the different cast members. Big occasions like weddings, yeah, I'll be there for them whenever they need my back. But yeah, it was fun seeing all. I'd love to get them on the show as well. So yeah, we may do that. And I don't know, maybe it would be kind of fun to do it during the Big Brother season and get them to give some commentary on what's going on inside the house. There's some of my castmates who still watch. Some of them who've kind of said, yeah, it was stressful enough when I was in the house. Maybe not so much anymore. So we'll have to see what's going on. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea, Desiree. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think we need to do it. I hope they'd say yes. I think they would. I hope so. All right, Ed Brewer saying, I saw Bowie. I saw Bowie get fired from Donald Trump earlier today. Well, Ed, you're going in the Wayback Machine if you're seeing that. For those of you who don't know, Bowie, my brother, was on The Apprentice with Donald Trump, and Bowie got. It doesn't count as a spoiler if it's 23 years later, right? Bowie did not win The Apprentice. He did not get a job working for Donald Trump. Maybe just as well, but he got fired in episode number 4, and his episode, he had to be part of a team that was working at Planet Hollywood in Times Square, season 1. So the very first season, which was kind of a big deal for them. Season 1, and he got fired from episode 4. They were working in Planet Hollywood, and they were having to make more money than they were the men's team. They're having to make more money than the women's team. And Bowie got tasked with selling merchandise. Some people were selling alcohol, some were selling food. Bowie was tasked with selling merchandise. And what they didn't explain in the episode, and it's peeved him ever since, I've heard him talk about it before, he was a little irritated that particular week while they were doing those sales, Planet Hollywood had pulled out most of their inventory because they were promoting Freddy versus Jason, the horror movie that had come out. And so Bowie was having to go try to sell Planet Hollywood Freddy versus Jason shirts to all these tourists that were there. And they just didn't buy a lot. So he got let go. He actually, Donald Trump later said, you didn't do anything wrong. I just have to let go of someone, and you drew the short straw kind of deal. But yeah, Bowie got fired. When I went in the house, episode 4, which was week number 4 of the Apprentice season, is when Bowie got let go. Week number 4 in the Big Brother house was the battle back episode for my season. Trust me, I knew that if I didn't win the battle back, that I was going to forever be tied with Bowie in terms of how long I stayed in my house versus how long he stayed in Trump Tower. And that about winning that battle back, I had permanent scoreboard on my brother that I played the reality game a little bit longer than he did. So yeah, well, it's cool that you saw him get fired. I haven't, not that you saw him got fired, but yeah, that you saw my brother on reality TV. I need to go back and watch that again. It's been a long time. We actually have the DVD set, I think. Of course, I don't even know the last time I watched something on the DVD player. It's all streaming now, but somewhere I've got Bowie on there as well. So yeah, our family got the reality TV bug early. It's hard to believe it's been 23 years ago. But anyway, well, that's cool. I'm glad you got to see Bowie. All right, YTC JC Star 1015 says, watched your episodes before waiting for you to go live. Well, I appreciate that. I hope you watched the right episodes. And I don't know what the right episodes are. The battle back's pretty cool. Episode 1, when I won my way back into the house, maybe kind of cool, I guess. A few other episodes, yeah, where they start talking about the fashion show. Just be warned that I don't twerk that well. My body just doesn't move that direction. Maybe once upon a time, but no more. Shoot, I about need a hip replacement just from trying to twerk. But I did do it on national TV, trying to fit in with everyone else in that house. And that's crazy. Fashion show. I tied, I think, with Nick, and I said, okay, y'all are gonna have to have a dance off. All right, fine. I'll do my goofy old dad dancing. No, you got to twerk. Well, that worked fantastic. Needless to say, I didn't win that particular competition. All right, Noah Lemon is saying, watching season 1 just to see you. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that, Noah. Little inside scoop. There's a lot of episodes that I'm on. A few. Yeah, I appreciate that. one of these days I'll get around to watching my season as well. I need to. It's just I know the outcome. I know how it ends. So don't feel the need as much as watching brand new seasons and all of that. Did y'all know? Not to get away. Well, I was going to talk reality TV. Let's talk a little. I don't remember how it's talking. Oh, National Egg Day. Did y'all see my teaser? Cool Hand Luke may have had my face in place of Paul Newman's eating the eggs. And I was thinking about it when I watch one of my favorite shows. I just absolutely love I love the show. I love the music from it. Just the whole idea that Paul Newman is this down on your luck guy. He's never had any luck. He's always been a nothing luck kind of guy. And he just keeps getting beaten down and he keeps on getting back up and just fighting the good fight over and over again. And I feel like that's a fantastic theme about the way to win life. One point, his big theme is something about sometimes having no hand is can be a pretty good hand in terms of poker and things like that. Just love me some Paul Newman, amazing actor. I love the show, but at one point in the show, they take a bet that he can eat 50 hard-boiled eggs in under an hour, and people start making everyone in this whole jailhouse is betting on whether he can do it or not. So, famous scene where he's trying to eat these 50 eggs. I won't spoil it by telling you whether he did it or not. But I did laugh when I was thinking National Egg Day, and that's the first thing that came into my mind was those 50 eggs. And I wondered, could I eat 50 hard-boiled eggs? I wish they had challenges like that on Survivor or Big Brother, either one. They don't have eating challenges anymore. Now, they've done it on The Amazing Race once or twice. Remember Boston Rob? They had all this meat they had to eat, and Boston Rob knew he couldn't do it. And he convinced 2 or 3 other teams to sit out as well so that he knew they would still be behind him, even though they were all behind because they took like a 4-hour, 6-hour penalty. Amazing, brilliant strategy. But they don't have the eating challenges on Big Brother or Survivor. I wish they did. I guess call me a little cocky. I feel like I'd do okay at some of the eating challenges, including 50 hard-boiled eggs. Of course, it's easy to say. It's a lot of eggs to be putting down. But yeah, maybe I'll do that on YouTube. Maybe on YouTube, I'll bring in some of my former castmates. We'll do those. There's some special episodes. Maybe one of these special episodes, I'll just see if I can eat 50 hard-boiled eggs. Sharon's already waving and say, yeah, you ain't doing that. Not in this house. We'll see. I'm like quail eggs. Maybe I start with quail eggs. Yeah, those teeny tiny little eggs. And I'll work my way up to chicken eggs or something. All right, trivia question for you. And then we'll get to rounds too. What do you know what causes the color change in eggs? Why some eggshells are brown, some are white, some are, I've seen them pink and blue and everything else. I always thought it was the diet. No, apparently it's just the breed of the chicken. I don't know how that works because I thought some chickens had different colored eggs, but apparently not. Yeah. And I don't think it's like brown feathers have brown eggs. I think it's something a little bit more genetic that, how did that work out? How do some chickens from an evolutionary standpoint have dark eggs and other have light eggs, and somehow that makes a difference in the wilds? Don't know. I'll leave it to the chicken experts, but just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, Mark Taylor saying, are you getting excited for the new Big Brother? Are they put away yet? Oh, I'm so excited. I saw a comment from Andy Sloan, who I've never met Andy personally. I think we may have talked once or twice on messaging, just real quick, but Andy was one of the ones handling the casting for Big Brother. When I did it was Robin Cast, but now it's Andy Sloan. He made a post, I think yesterday, maybe, saying that he was through with casting for Big Brother, which tells me they've all, at least from a recruiting standpoint, not recruiting, from a casting standpoint, they've settled on their, say, top 25 people or so. Andy's job is probably done. Now, it could be at this point, and I don't know this for certain, but I think that CBS may have a kind of a final say. CBS and Alison Grodner, the producers of Big Brother, they probably, and I think, have a final say. So by this point in time, Andy has, starting off with tens of thousands of people, narrowed it down to some manageable number. And now the Big Brother production and the CBS executives have to sit down and figure out, all right, who do we really want out of this group to be our final, I assume 16. It could be different, but assuming the final 16 to be on the show itself. When I did my auditions, uh, we have to fly out to LA and do all that kind of thing. I met Robin, Cass, I met Allison, I met all the big wigs at Big Brother. What I didn't count on was also meeting a lot of the big wig CBS executives, which pretty cool. I mean, these are high powered people, and I'm sitting there just chatting away with them and having fun. It may be just as well I didn't know who was who. I was probably talking to Les Moonves or someone and didn't even have a clue. I just talked to anyone. I talked to a lot of people that particular little week. But yeah, we met all kinds of people, and so I do know that they want to check out all of us. And I'm sure there's executives at CBS who say, "Yeah, that guy's a goofball. I'm not putting him on my network. There ain't a chance in heck I'm putting him on." I'm sure you could get blackballed at some point. Glad I wouldn't. Glad I stayed friendly with everyone. But yeah, so Andy says they're through with casting. He has moved on. He's getting ready to cast. I think he posted about a Deal or No Deal Island season number 2. I'm looking forward to it. I truly am. I need to reach out to Andy and say, "Hey, I can do with a briefcase with a couple of $1 million. I'm a pretty good guesser on that kind of stuff. I'll adopt the brand new young kid and make sure he gets taken care of and give y'all some show and all that." Yeah, I'd do it. But anyway, yeah, so they're through with casting, which doesn't mean that the choices have actually been made. It just means I think they've narrowed it down as much as they, for now, until they make that final decision. Have they been put away yet? Have they been grabbed and put into sequester? I doubt it. Not with the show not starting till, what do we say, July 17th and 18th, I think, is a 2-night premiere. Based on that, I would expect them in a regular world to get snatched around July 10th or so. Because of COVID, even though COVID seems like forever ago, even though COVID isn't maybe something that we worry as much about in terms of mask and everything else, I still bet it's a big deal for them in terms of just keeping viruses, forget just COVID viruses, the common cold, whatever, keeping out of the house. I would not be surprised if they weren't grabbed probably right after the 4th of July. I have a feeling they're probably being told, if you're going to be on, you may want to think that July 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around there, you may want to be packed up just in case. So no, I don't think they've been grabbed yet, but there's also probably about 20 people out there that are incredibly excited right now. And if only we knew who they were. I'll tell you, if anyone's watching, reach out to me. Secret safe with me. I promise you that. But anyway, we shall see. We are getting close. I can't wait for the cast release. One of my favorite. It's like a kid waking up on Christmas morning, seeing what Santa left, watching them do the cast release and seeing who the people are that we're going to be either cheering for or against or laughing at or laughing with or some combination thereof. Just one of my favorite absolute days of all time. All right, let's see what else do we have on here. Mark Taylor saying, "Are you following The Circle? If so, who is your favorite?" No, I started with, especially with the AI and all of that. I wanted to, and I just can't keep up with all these reality shows. I thought I had it figured out. I stopped watching as much Big Brother Canada. Fine, I can do. Well, no, then I get hooked on a Deal or No Deal Island, and we still had amazing all the shows on CBS. There's always something getting my way of watching it. So no, I'm not watching The Circle. I will go back and watch on repeat. Love is Blind. That's the one that got me all screwed up, because if I hadn't watched that, I would have had time for The Circle. But what are you gonna do? All right, The Circle is calling you. What kind of guest would you be? Here's the thing. I guess I'd be a fun guest. I would be a difficult tech. I would have a difficult time if I had to catfish some young co-ed going to college or something. They do that, right? They would not say, "Cliff, you're just going to play Cliff on The Circle." No, they would bring me in there and they'd say, "We're picking a person for you to play, and you've got your choice of playing the neighbor's dog or or the neighbor's co-ed who's going to the University of Houston or something." And I'd say, "Oh, this is gonna just be lovely." Once they start asking me fashion tips or whatever. Y'all talk about me being on The Circle all the time. And if people from The Circle are watching, call me, because there's nothing I won't say no. Well, pretty much most I won't say no to. Dating shows may be a little tough for me to say yes to, but other than that, uh, I would do a circle. I just the emojis and OMG, OMG, emoji hug, heart, send. That's just not my vernacular. That's not my language of talking in social media talk. It's hard enough for me even to come up with hashtags when I do postings on Twitter, Instagram. Who would have thought that me, a guy in his late 50s, is sitting there out there on social media posting anything at all? So, yeah, to go on the circle would be, I would just cringe. I would just sit on that couch in one of those rooms the whole time thinking, oh my gosh, how could I possibly say something that isn't going to sound like me? It's going to sound like someone who has a lot more expertise with this kind of stuff. It would be fun. It would be probably that actually would scare me more than going on Naked and Afraid and spending 30 days naked, afraid, cold, hungry, keeping the mosquitoes and the lizards and everything else at bay. Speaking of, we were up at the lake this weekend doing a little work. I got attacked by a bat. I think it was either a bat or a really fast moving leaf in a windstorm or something. Sitting there leaning over, doing some stuff, and all of a sudden something hits me upside the face. I jumped. It was right in the evening, just as the sun was getting ready to go down. It was dusk. Slams up against against my face. I screamed probably louder than I probably should have. Spun around. Couldn't see it. It was a one time deal only, but it got my attention. Maybe it was a Batman. Maybe a Batman going for Egghead or something. But yeah, I got to say hello to a bat this weekend. Yeah, you don't touch those things. They're supposedly rabid and all of that, but I think this one. Fortunately, my hair is pretty short. Didn't get caught in my hair. But yeah, I got to say hello to a bat, and I got to say goodbye real fast as well. Somebody can move fast when it feels like there's critters pursuing it, and I move pretty fast. I yell pretty loud too. All right, Bing Bong. Hey, Bing Bong, how are you? What returning season theme do you think gives you the best chance of returning? Second chance? In terms of Big Brother, what kind of theme? Old people theme. I shouldn't say old. I'm not old. I'm older. There is a difference in those two terms. But yeah, bring Felicia back. Bring me back. Bring yeah, who else? Bring Jerry back. I'd love to work. I'd love to play the game with Jerry just because I admire the guy. But I don't. That would be interesting. Bring back the fourth place players from every season. Now, who cares about fourth place, right? I care. I hope my wife cares about it, but fourth place, I feel like, for the most part, were people that played a decent game, but maybe didn't quite get to the very end. But if you go to fourth place players, it would be me, it would be Felicia, it would be Christmas Abbott, which I'm sure y'all love to see Christmas come back on Big Brother again, wouldn't you? There's a lot of people who finished in fourth place that actually would be interesting people to come back into the game. I can hold my own against other fourth place finishers. So yeah, I'd love to do that. I don't know. I would love to come back as a coach. Even they had a coach season, right? Where they brought four. Dan was back, and was Brittany back that season? I can't remember who all the coaches were. Jesse was back. And then halfway through, they said, all right, you can play the game for real if you hit a button or something. You don't even have to do that, Big Brother. Just let me come back and actually be a coach from start to finish. And pay me a little bit to make up for my time, but I would love to be able to coach 4 or 5 people and maybe see one of them actually win and become the champion. Hopefully, based a little bit on what I had told them and how they played the game. It would be cool to be able to go in and draft a handful of people that I thought best could play the kind of game that I feel like I'm set up to play. I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be really cool to have a theme of coaches, mentors. Let's call them mentors, and maybe getting to see what they could do, how they could influence these people. That'd be fun. But having said all that, I would never want to have a situation where these newbie players didn't have their own ownership of their game, where they had to do what someone else told them to. I always felt so bad for Eric Stein, one of my favorite Big Brother players, and yet because he was America's house guest, he had to vote certain ways. He had to do certain things. So he never really got to play the game the way he should have been allowed to. I would never want to be a mentor where I could tell people what they had to do. I'd want to just be the one who would make suggestions on how to tweak it. Of course, saying that, they would probably give me 4 or 5 of the absolute most irrational, crazy, yelling recruits who are just there for Instagram influencing, who've never played the game before. They would give me people who were the absolute antithesis of how I tried to play the game, just to see how we would get along. And that would be very interesting indeed. Be fun. We'd probably be butting heads a little bit. We'd see. All right. Marilyn Sutherland says, saw that Jackson had a baby. Well, or at least his wife. I know what you're talking about. Of course, in this day and age. But no, I did see the posting that Jackson Mickey, his wife is pregnant. I saw some pictures. I don't know that she's had the baby yet, but she certainly is rather far along. So it won't be too far. I need to reach out to him and talk about what a fantastic name Cliff would be. Cliff Mickey. I don't know. But no, he's yeah, I'm proud for the guy. I posted, said congratulations to the both of you. That's really cool. Becoming a father, pretty big deal. It changes a man in a lot of ways. I saw it happen to Nick when he had his first baby. Now he's had a second one as well. And so, yeah, I'm very happy for Jackson. It just changes your whole outlook in life. All kinds of news from my season of Big Brother 21. Jackson, his wife is pregnant. Now, just as a little aside, for those of you who haven't seen the pictures, go out. I think it was on Instagram. Search for his profile if you don't follow him already. I know some of y'all don't, but follow or go out and look at his profile. His wife, and he would, I'm not sure anyone would appreciate me saying this. His wife sure looks a lot like Holly from our season. But yeah, that's but yeah, congratulations to him on that. Other news from my season, Sam Smith, his move to Alabama. He posted that. So Sam moved from Pennsylvania down to Florida. Now he's moving to Alabama. Before you know it, he's going to be here in my neighborhood here in Houston. So yeah, congrats to Sam. He's moved over Alabama. Tommy Bracco posted that he saw Julie Chen came to his Broadway show and saw him dancing in the heart of rock and roll. Pretty cool. Julie never hangs out with me at work, but Tommy's activities are a little more interesting than mine are. So yeah, we've had all kinds of stuff going on. Christy's got her twin little girl babies, and yeah, a lot of cool things happening inside the BB21 household. Even though we're all spread to the winds, but yeah, congratulations to all those guys. All right, Karen Hummer is saying, what about Sharon? What about Sharon as a guest or your kids? I think I've had Kelly and Daniel on here before. I'd probably like to get them on again. That'd be fun. Just they're so busy though. Trying to get them wrangled in and sit in front of a camera for an hour is not always so easy. But yeah, it'd be fun to try to do that and see what's going on in that world. Sharon has decided that she's happy being my producer, my manager, everything else that involves not being in front of the camera. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of Big Brother players who Big Brother, Survivor, all of it. You have to have kind of one of those personalities. You're just like, what the hell? I'll just go out there and can't embarrass me. Can't, whatever. I'll own whoever I am. And then you have their more sane partners who have the yoke on them and keep them a little bit from going off the deep end so much. And Sharon is my sane one that keeps me reined in sometimes when I need to be reined in. So yeah, maybe not so much Sharon. I'd love to have her, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, she won't do it. I've been trying to talk to my mom about coming on the show. She's got some stories between having Bowie as a son, myself as her son, as her first son, as her favorite son, as I like to say, and then 2 other brothers. Yeah, my mom's got a few stories that would probably be interesting to hear, but haven't quite convinced her yet. I'm going to keep trying though, so we'll see. We'll see what happens on that. All right, Noah Lemon saying, what is the age requirement to apply to Big Brother? 21. You have to be 21. I'm not sure what makes that the magic age, other than I guess you're full adult. You can own a firearm, which probably doesn't matter so much in the Big Brother house. You can drink, which does matter in the Big Brother house. Y'all remember Natalie from, I don't know, 17 or so, somewhere around there. She lied. She said she was 18 or 19 years old. I don't really get why I know she wanted to portray that she was younger so she would seem a little bit less dangerous or less of a threat. But it kind of backfired on her because then she's drinking in the house. Everyone's saying, well, how can you drink? You're not even 21. Well, special permission or whatever. Now, but you have to be 21 to apply to, or at least, I don't think you have to be 21 to apply to Big Brother. You have to be 21 by the time that Big Brother airs. So, yeah, if you're right there on the edge, man, try for it. I try. Of course, it sounds like it's shut down for this season, but next season, consider doing it because they sure like those 20 somethings in Big Brother. For those of you who have a few more years, it seems like we're getting more and more age diversity on the show, which I love to see. This last season was fantastic. I hope we continue it this season. Diversity, not just in terms of ethnicity, but I'd love to see maximum diversity in terms of ethnicity, religion, age, geographic location, politics. Get 16 people that are as far removed as possible from each other in every single different component, and then see how people work. Where do they find bonds with people? Because it's easy to bond with other people in the house that may be similar to you for one or two reasons. But I think the harder part is being able to bond with people that may be completely different than you, but those are the ones that may make the difference whether you stay in the house or not. And so, you're not going to do well if you play the game of Big Brother if you only hang out with those who are the most like you, because there shouldn't be enough people in the house to do that. So I hope they have as much range of diversity with all the different variables as possible, including age. But yeah, 21. As soon as you hit 21, you better be sending in that video, because even if you don't make it on Big Brother, those casting producers, they share those videos. They share information. You may get calls from who knows what kind of show at the end of the day. You never know. The worst that's going to happen is you won't get called and then you've lost nothing. The best is going to happen is, well, you could win $1 million. That's pretty cool, right? Amazing. It still blows me away that we have on TV reality shows where someone can just walk away a millionaire at the end of the day. That twice a year, someone on Survivor does it. I'm still a little peeved that Big Brother isn't $1 million. We spend a lot more time inside that house than they spend on the island, but a different argument for a different day. All right, let's see what else. Michelle Moore is saying, what about the show 1% premieres tonight? I saw it advertised. I actually didn't realize, is it on regular TV or is it on one of the streaming channels? I don't remember where I saw the advertisement listed. For some reason, I thought it was like a BBC show, maybe because of the host or whatever. I love those kind of shows because it's a trivia show, right? I love those kind of trivia shows and all of that. So yeah, I'll be checking it out. If I don't watch it live, I'll be recording it and watching it instead. That's the other thing kept me busy all weekend long. A bunch of Aggie baseball. For those of you who don't know, my Texas Aggies won their weekend regional, beat a bunch of teams, including the Texas Longhorns, our big rivals. So yeah, we spent a lot of time watching college baseball this year, and I spent a lot of time cheering on and cringing over stressed out with some of the baseball games. But yeah, I'll be checking out the circle or the circle. I'll be checking out 1%. Throw the circle in there as well. We did watch over the weekend Dune 2. Have y'all seen that? You may want to watch Dune 1 first. It would come in handy. I liked it okay. I also like the original Dune movie that came out with Kyle MacLachlan and Sting played one of the evil guys and all of that. Kind of like the dark theming to that one as well. Love Dune, the book, the series. There's a bunch. God, there must be a dozen books written about the Dune universe. But as a high schooler, I read Dune. Loved it. One of my more favorite sci-fi kind of stories. It's just a tough set of books to convert into movies. It's all right. If you're into the book, if you're into sci-fi, you'll probably enjoy it. If not, maybe not so much. But for those of you who've seen it, what do you think? We finished that. We finished Shogun. Again, it started off stronger than it finished up. It was okay, but it just didn't give me that little bit like it watching Game of Thrones. You get to the end, it's like, I feel like y'all kind of mailed it in at the very end, but hey, it was entertaining there for a while. All right, Chris Lair is saying, "Would you like to be on Traitors? Would love it. Season 3, they're casting for it. Would you want to be a traitor or a faithful?" I feel like I've answered this a couple of times, and I'll say the same thing, Chris. I say every time: put me in as a traitor. I'd have so much fun playing the villain because it goes against typecast. I hope I'm not considered a villain. I don't think so by most people. Some people maybe, but no, I'd love to go in and play down and dirty and ruthless and lie to every single person and stab in the back and do all the horrible things that the traitor. You've been murdered. I don't know that I can replicate Alan Cummings from the show. There's been a murder in the house. Close, okay, this is about as close as I'm gonna come. Yeah, I'd love to do. Put me in because it would be a fun mental challenge. I'd get to hang around what I consider to be one of the most fun reality TV hosts anywhere in Alan Cummings. Be in a Scottish castle for a couple of weeks while they play the game, and hey, give me a kilt. I got some Scottish heritage as well, so it'd be a perfect world for me, and yeah, I'd have fun. But yeah, I definitely would want to play a traitor. If they made me a faithful, fine. I'd play the game as hard as I could. I think I could do pretty well. I feel like I've got some strategies that no one has explored yet, and I don't know why because I feel like I could do pretty well. I'll just leave it at that because if I get cast, I don't want everyone to know what I do, but I feel like I've got some ideas that would help get me quite a ways further in the game. But yeah, make me a traitor and see if people can actually see through the smile and the goofy behavior and the goofy demeanor and actually peg me as a traitor. I don't think they would, but then again, I'm not very good at lying either. So they'd probably say, "Cliff, are you a traitor?" No. Why would you say that? And before I'm fessing up, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs in the boat room of the castle, and I'm out the next episode. It'd be fun to try though. Yeah, I'm all for the traders. All right, Bing Bong saying, you would be a great coach. You're a solid player. Well, thank you. I think I think I'm objective enough without sounding cocky or arrogant, but I do think I'm objective enough that I could point to people and say, look, don't respond to that stuff, or don't let them know that you're worried about that, or let make sure that someone else is a target, not you. You need to be over there kind of doing this. And yeah, I feel like I would have a pretty good idea. And here's one of the reasons why. My family always played Risk. We still do it some, not as much as we used to, because it's hard to get the family together some. But my extended family would always play Risk over all the holidays. And I figured out very early, it wasn't just what I did during my turn that helped me win a lot of those games. It's what I whispered and what I suggested and what I talked about when it wasn't my turn that helped me win a lot of those games. The guy next to me who's got this huge army, and I'm thinking, oh my God, don't let him attack me. It was always super easy to lean over and whisper and say, gosh, that guy on your other border, he sure is looking tough. And you never know when he's going to go off and attack you. And I feel like I could do the same thing as a coach of saying, well, yes, they're coming after you, but that doesn't mean that you can't get it pushed the other way if you just whisper the right things at the right moments and do things like that. Yeah, I appreciate it, Dingma. I think I'd have fun doing it. All right. Which BB player do you think would make the best transition into Survivor? Ooh, that is a good question. And Chris Lair saying, I think that Tyler Chris Minot's would be a pretty good castaway on Survivor. And Ed Brewer saying Paul might do well on Survivor. Yeah, I could see both of them. Let's see for the past few seasons who someone like maybe like Joseph from what was that, 2 seasons ago? Maybe someone like him could do it. I felt like he had a lot of charisma and basic strategy, and I feel like he could survive. They had to do that dryer fest out in the backyard, which is kind of like Survivor, right? Maybe someone like him. Tyler's a good choice, and Paul as well. I like both of those. Who I'm trying to think, even from a female perspective, someone who would be out on an island, be miserable, be hungry, and not not get too worked up about it and would be able to fight their way through some of that. And I don't know. Let me leave that for a second. That is a fantastic question. Who would be did well on Big Brother that would do well on Survivor as well? I think someone like Tommy maybe could do pretty well for my season. I just admire Tommy as a player. I know a lot of people have still criticized Nicole and I for sending him out the door over Holly. I'm telling you, I stand by my move. Every time I watch Tommy do his Broadway shows and all that, I know how strong he was on mental comps and endurance and all that. If we hadn't gotten rid of Tommy, he would have won the whole thing. Now, having said that, if there's someone from our season that's going to win the game of Big Brother whose name isn't Cliff or Nicole, I would have been fine with Tommy winning it. I love the guy, and I would have been fine if he had won the final thing. But I think Tommy would be all right out on the island as well. I don't know. I'll think about that one. That's a great question. Ask me again next week. I'll get some names put together for you. All right, let's see what else we have. Chris Lair saying, I think you would do well as a traitor. I'd like to think so. I can wear the black hoodie and make horrible, tough decisions. That would be my tough part. I just don't like seeing people uncomfortable or miserable, even though I know it's just a game. And as much as I say be objective and all of that, it still hurt when I did the game of Big Brother and I watched some of these people going home. Now, there's some people I will say I felt like they kind of deserve to be going home. People who attacked Nicole, who attacked me. There's a few people I really wanted to wave to on the way out the door. So I can't say I'm a complete angel, but there are a lot of people I just felt like they just didn't really get a chance to play the game. And it kind of hurt me that they had invested so much into getting on that show and it just didn't quite work out. But at the end of the day, only one person could make it to the end, so it is what it is. But if I was actually on the Traitors and was the one responsible for picking the person who went home each week, it depends. If they were all returning people from other reality shows, I don't think I'd worry about it, because I'd be saying, hey, you know what, they already had their chance. I'm not going to be too worried about it. But otherwise, it'd be tough. It was just a newbie, a brand new player who I didn't have a lot of, like Deal or No Deal Island. It would have killed me to get rid of Aaron, because he was so invested, so emotional about that game, and to send him out the door would have been tough. Our Misfire is saying Shuby. I've met Shuby from the circle. Shuby was so much fun. Is so much fun. Shuby was supposed to be at the wedding, Nicole's wedding, couldn't make it. I hated that. And I was looking forward to saying hello to him. Put Shuby on Survivor, and I'll be right there with them. We'll make allies and do fantastic. That would be that would be a lot of fun. Y'all got me thinking now about the Big Brother and Survivor and who would do well. I think Paul's a pretty good choice. I'll think about it some more. That I'll have to think about that. All right, let's see. Misfire saying Shuby, my former castmate was recruited for Big Brother, but he's still active on Instagram. Shuby is saying that? No, hold on. I'm Misfire. Sorry, I'm trying to read through different things. That's pretty cool. That's a thing. People are recruited for one show, but then like Ovi came real close to getting on Survivor and ended up on Big Brother instead. How different would it have? Picture my season of Big Brother without Ovi, because he was on Survivor, so someone else comes in. Christy was an alternate. Picture her not being in the game. Suddenly, Tommy doesn't have his tight ride or die to work with. Which direction does he go? You could see so many things change just by removing one or two people. All right, Chris Lair saying, I think Casey would do well in Survivor. I think that is a fantastic choice. We've seen her on the challenge. That she does fantastic, right? Natalie's another one of those that was on Big Brother, and people maybe didn't give her enough credit for. I think she's could be a little bit of a badass when she needs to be. So maybe that'd be interesting as well. All right, let's see. Ma's saying, don't think they're in sequester yet. No, I agree. I think they're a little short of going in. That'd be a long sequester if they're already in the house. So probably. Not so much. Michelle Moore saying, what about Jasmine on Survivor? As long as they give her the little cart. Please, Survivor, if you do that, don't have the little wheel every time you see her walking around the island. That would be that could be a little irritating. Yeah, maybe not Jasmine so much. Somehow we only Survivor's only 29 days long. If they cast it during her birthday, she may be safe the entire start to finish, right? I mean, yeah, birthday can only last, well, it can last a long time if you're Jasmine. uh Miss Fire saying, for what's worth, my former castmate's name isn't Shuby, but he did meet him at Hearts. Oh, okay, thank you. And so if he's picked, he goes into sequester soon. Okay, I don't want to get anyone in trouble, Miss Fire, but keep us informed. That's oh, if he is picked, he goes into sequester soon. Probably, I think, Miss Fire. I said earlier, pure guess on my part, not knowing exactly how they handle COVID and all of that, but probably July 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around there. I could see them getting snatched up and going into the house. I would think they may give them the 4th of July with their family and then pull them after that. Although, having said that, loose lips sink ships, right? They don't want anyone spoiling anything. And you go show up with a bunch of your family members and you're hanging around with a lot of people. There's probably a lot more opportunities for someone to blab when they shouldn't be blabbing. So, yeah, maybe they'd come get them on July 2nd or 3rd and say, you're celebrating your 4th of July in a sequester location somewhere. You can watch fireworks out the window, or we'll put them on TV or something. We were in the house over the 4th of July. They showed fireworks on the TV screen. We were so excited. It's like, oh, wow, we're watching fireworks over Sydney, Australia. We're watching them over London, England. Yeah, no, they were just a loop of fireworks. Watching fireworks on TV, not nearly as exciting when you know it's just a little 20-second loop that they're just showing over and over and over again. And that lost its attention or its fancy pretty quickly. Yeah, we did sit out in the backyard on the 4th of July and listen, and we could hear fireworks going off. Didn't really see any overhead, but we could hear them exploding and all of that. And that's the best we got for 4th of July. Now, they did bring in pizzas, if I recall. Shut down the feeds for a little bit, fed us pizzas, played music for an hour or so, which was fantastic. So we all they played a Bohemian Rhapsody at one point. We all sang along, except for Nick, who had never heard of this Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Still amazes me, but yeah, we had fun that particular 4th of July weekend. And then we had an earthquake to follow up with it, which was also exciting for this old Texas guy. So yeah, we'll see. All right, let's see. Desiree Watts saying, Cliff, did you like the winner of Deal or No Deal Island? Yeah, I thought she was fine. I was cheered for her. I kind of was cheering for. Yeah, I'll admit, I was kind of cheering for Boston Rob, and I think she was a great pick. And she got what, $3 million or so. Seems like she had quite a bit out of it. So yeah, I like Deal or No Deal Island much more than I thought I would. All right, Ed Brewer is saying Liz would do good on Big Brother. Are you talking about Liz Nolan? Or Julia Nolan, or no, no, you're talking Liz from Big Brother coming over, from Survivor coming over to Big Brother. That would be interesting. Would she be able to handle the lack of food choices inside the Big Brother house? I'm sure she could figure out something that would work her way. And they do help with the food choices. Tommy was allergic to peanuts, so they made sure they kept peanuts separated and nothing that came in other than peanut butter. Everything else, they didn't have peanuts or anything on it. I think Kat did not. I don't know if she was gluten-free or she just didn't like crust on her bread or something, but she had special gluten-free bread that they kept in the refrigerator. I'll say personally, not my favorite bread, but Kat had it in there if I remember. Apples, Kimmy had told us she was allergic to apples, so we avoided apples during the first part of the season and all that. So people do try to watch out for each other. If Liz was in the house and I knew she was allergic to fish, meat, and seafood, I mean, she's allergic to a lot of stuff, we would have gone either way. We would have protected the foods that she ate, not pigged out on them, so that she had food to survive and all that. I don't know. Liz got a little emotional at times. She could, if Liz was in the house, if I was working with her, yeah, Moss and Liz gets put on slop, it's over. Yeah, that would not be a good week. She would not handle that well at all. If I was working with Liz, I would do everything I could to keep her not in check, because that sounds like I'm too controlling, but to try to make sure that she felt okay with the way things were going. If she was not working with me, if she was on the other side of an alliance or something, I would have poked at her so much. I would have gotten her so worked up, because I just feel like she sometimes was a little too responsive to the emotions, if you know what I mean. She would be fun to watch on Big Brother. I'm not sure if she would be great on Big Brother. She could surprise us. When you first asked the question, you said Liz. I was thinking Liz or Julia Nolan from Big Brother going on to Survivor. I'm not sure how well that would do. Now, here's, as I said, how about Jesse, Mr. Spectacular? Could you see him going on Survivor? I could. We'll see how he do it. He was kind of a interesting character. Johnny Mac maybe would be another one who, I don't know. Oh, you know who? James Hung from Big Brother. I could see him going on Survivor and doing okay. See, yeah, got me thinking now. We'll come up with some other ones. All right, 7:58. We'll shut this down here in just a second. Chicky D Kenny saying she was very particular, which made her fun to watch. I'm telling you, I love the cast from Big Brother. I love the cast from Survivor this season. All kinds of fun watching them play the game. Casting did a fantastic job. Now they're kind of jawing at each other a little bit, at least a few here or there. It's tough. They've had to keep this a secret for so long. Now they suddenly are free to talk, say whatever they want, kind of exercise some demons and all of that. I hope at the end they work it all out. But it definitely seems like some people aligned with others there at that Ponderosa Ranch better than others maybe did. It's tough. All of these reality shows are tough games because you get so much invested into it. All right. That being said, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Ma, reach out to me. If you want, are you ready to do the show next week? Reach out. Someone reached out and said, I'm Ma. And I said, nah, I don't think you're Ma. Some random soul. And if it was you, Ma, let me know. But no, reach out to me because I need to send you a link for the show next week. You can do it on Instagram or Twitter. Just send me something. But anyway, next week, if Ma's up for it, we're going to celebrate her birthday. We'll have her on the show. Between now and then, guys, y'all have a fantastic week. Enjoy the first week of June. Everything about it. I'll finish off with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love all you guys that come out here live or on replay, either one. And as a final little thing, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, turn on notifications, thumbs up, and yeah, Big Brother's almost here, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be so much fun. Guys, y'all have a great week. Hey, send me, not just Ma, any of y'all. Y'all got any questions, anything next for what you want to talk about next week? Send me some comments, send me some questions, Twitter or Instagram. Either one, I'll see your message. I always respond to them. So yeah, let me know what's going on. Guys, y'all have a great week. I will see y'all next Monday. Until then, I'll say it again. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye. There we go.